Dream big. You don't need permission from anyone to dream big. Dream big, no matter how big you think you have dreamed. Just hold that dream. Your background does not determine your future. That's another thing. It's not a function of where you come from. Your background should not determine your future. And never stop learning, because continuous learning is a superpower. When you are consistent in the way you learn, it will definitely bring results someday. Success is usually slower than people think, but the consistency eventually pays off.
Relocating doesn't come with a manual. You cross borders with dreams, skills, and ambition. But the real journey begins after you land. Winning Across Borders is the podcast where Africans in the diaspora share the real stories behind building careers abroad. From survivor jobs and career pivots, to breakthroughs, setbacks, and redefining success in unfamiliar systems. No filters, no shortcuts. Just honest conversations, practical lessons, and real blueprints. This is Winning Across Borders.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Winning Across Borders pod. This is the podcast where I share inspiring stories of Africans that are navigating life, careers, business, and opportunities abroad. Today's guest is someone whose journey represents the power of continuous learning, adaptability, and using knowledge to create impact. From building a career in business intelligence, data analytics, and Microsoft technologies, to becoming a Microsoft certified trainer and helping others develop digital skills. Today's conversation is much more about technology. We're talking about career growth, breaking into tech, certifications, building confidence, and the importance of mentorship and a community, and how professionals can continue evolving in a rapidly changing world. My guest today is Mr. Olujuwon Omotoba, an AI and data governance specialist, business intelligence engineer, Microsoft certified trainer, and the founder of Softclue Data Empowerment. Mr. Olujuwon, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm pleased to meet you.
Thank you very, very much. For people who don't know much about you, please could you briefly introduce yourself for us?
Well, my name is Olujuwon Omotoba. I'm a technology entrepreneur and a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm the founder of Softclue UK, and my passion has always been helping people unlock opportunities through digital skills, data, and AI technology. I strongly believe that where talent meets opportunity, transformation begins.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's really, really good. Let's take it back to the beginning, because there's always a beginning, right? You studied computer engineering.
Yeah, I studied computer engineering.
All right, great. What really led you to study computer engineering? Have you always had an eye for tech, technology, and how things are being built?
Well, that's actually a long story.
Okay.
Yeah, because my journey didn't just begin with computer engineering. People often think that the journey started with technology, but it actually started with what I would call a difficult decision. Back in 2004, I gained admission to study industrial mathematics at Adekunle Ajashin University, Akungba Akoko. However, the dream I had was to become a computer engineer, actually. But the way the school was built then, they did not have any engineering course. I think something related to engineering that they had was physics electronics, if anyone knows Akungba at that time. So I kept on hoping. I was one of the few students who hoped that they would start engineering in the school. So I kept on. I think that was one of those things they used to tell me that, oh, before you guys get to 400 level, they will bring the engineering course and you will cross to the engineering course that you wanted or something. Though even my parents were telling me then that I can cross when they bring they bring over they start it or accredit it, then I will be able to start engineering. So I kept hoping. 100 level went. I still did not see anything related to that. It was at 200 level. I strongly believed it's something in my dream that I wanted to become an engineer, a computer person, computer analyst. Then I kept on writing JAM. At that time, the university, since they did not offer the engineering courses, and I believe after 1 year or two, it's still easy for me looking at the long future ahead. So I had to quit the course. It was a very difficult decision, just like I said, because that happened in 2007. I had to stop the course and I started again at Lautech. 2007, I gained admission into Lautech to study computer science and engineering. That was the name of that course then. The department was computer science and engineering. And this experience actually taught me an important lesson very early in life. Yeah. Sometimes you have to be willing to start again. to become who you are meant to be. Because the truth is that you won't keep having it young forever. There's still a particular person built inside of you that you're supposed to be, not when you are a child, thinking that this is who you are really meant to be. No, the real person you're supposed to be is in the future. So let nothing stop you from chasing the career path that will make that person to come true. So after graduation, I worked in technical support and gradually discovered this passion for data and analytics. After graduation, I worked with several, let me say mentors that really made me understand let me just say the best part of computing, which is data. They made me realize the future is embedded in data, and that a lot of things will still sprout forth with people who actually understood data as at that time. And here we are today in the era of AI. AI would not have been able to function well if there are no data to feed the AI systems. So I believe it's actually something that the dream was worth chasing, and I thank God for today. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That was really good. I was actually still going to ask you how you go into data, but you've briefly explained that. But one thing I like about your career path is you steady kept on evolving. You've dabbled into business intelligence, which is quite connected to data. You've been into Power Platform, data governance, and now AI. My question would be, what is that thing that keeps pushing you to want to evolve? I want to do more and learn more.
Well, the truth is that technology keeps changing.
Yes.
And just like I said, I didn't begin my career saying I wanted to become an AI expert.
Yes.
The truth is, I started by solving problems. I discovered Power BI early when I was a Microsoft support engineer at Tech Experts Nigeria 2019. And that changed everything. It showed me that data wasn't just numbers. It was stories, it was decisions and business values that are needed by organizations. Organizations need to proceed or to progress. From Power BI, I moved into Power Platform. From Power Platform, I moved into Azure AI. Then, shortly when I saw that AI is becoming something that every platform or every organization really needs now, you just have to migrate into digital transformation, because these companies need experts to handle their transformation process. And one thing I've always learned is that technology does not just stay rigid. It keeps changing, it keeps improving. In fact, what we have in this generation, it's less compared to what is coming. So if you don't follow or move with the train, they will leave you behind. That's just the real fact. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. My question now is close related to what we just said. You started as a technical support and then kept on evolving. And we both have to agree that the world of technology now is slightly different from how it was back then. My question is, for someone trying to get into tech now, how would you recommend they start? And probably someone thinking, is it cybersecurity I should go for? Is it software dev? Is it AI or data? What do you think should fuel that decision?
Well, my advice to anyone who wants to start in that line of business, first of all, start with your passion. Because the truth is, a lot of people out there who are not into it yet, they think it's that easy. There is no career path comes that easy. That's the truth. When it comes to data analytics itself, the basics of it might be Microsoft Excel, for instance. At that point, when you're still working with columns and rows, you might think is something that's easy. Not until you start working with macros, then you discover that this Excel is not what I thought it was. Then by the time you leave Excel and go into databases, SQL, write scripts, query scripts, be able to attach platforms with sources, with data sources, move data into Power BI, then you might think, oh, this thing is not something I can actually understand. But the truth is that my advice for them is, one thing I always say, one of the sentences I heard from the wise men, it says, impossibility is only in the dictionary of fools. There is nothing impossible to learn. There is nothing impossible to become. So don't see any of these technical jargons as something that you cannot understand. It only takes the willing spirit and ability to devote your time. You would surely get there. That's just the truth. And one thing that helped me, and I think one of those things that helped me, is this power of believing that you can do it. Don't wait for motivations. Don't wait to get motivated by either a friend it's actually good when you see people doing well, you can let it inspire you, but don't wait till they tell you that you do this, add this to join this. Have it at the back of your mind that this is you, this is your destiny. So carry it with yourself and run with it. Anything you feel like achieving, you can definitely achieve it. And another thing that is part of the processes of, let's say, measuring your successes to know if you have actually understood whatever you are learning. Write certifications, write exams, get results. In some, you might fail, and some, if you fail, it doesn't mean that you have actually failed totally. It's just like failing forward. It makes you know something you have not actually done right. It's better than not trying at all. So write exams, get results from certifying bodies. And these evidences is always good enough for you to terminate any argument at any corridor of justice or wherever they are able to decide who is good. You can always present it to them, and when they see it, they know that yes, this person is worth employing. So certifications is one of those things you use to prove yourself in the field, especially computing. That's all I have to say about that.
All right, thank you very, very much. I'll still come a bit to certifications later. Now let's talk about relocation. You mentioned you worked at Tech Experts, and I know a lot of people who've also worked at Tech Experts. I work in the Power Platform aspect, and I've realized a lot of Nigerians that go into Power Platform, one way or the other, they were connected to Tech Experts, and is a great organization that's kept pushing Microsoft technologies in Nigeria. So I would say at least at a certain level, you were okay in Nigeria. So what really fueled having to come to another country to sort of start again?
I didn't come to another country to come and start again, actually. The truth is, when I came to the United Kingdom, I came with one mindset. I had dreams initially. Even before I came to this country, I had dreams and I had a vision to make a difference. So coming here did not just come as something that it was when I got here that I discovered myself. The dreams have been there. In fact, I just needed an enabling environment to get everything working. And the plan, part of the plans was that I wanted to represent Nigeria positively and take advantage of the opportunities available in this developed country. You understand? So things like stable electricity, reliable internet, a secure environment, you understand what I mean?
Yes.
And access to learning resources. So I realized that UK is a peaceful country. I wouldn't lie to you, and serious people who have dreams will definitely thrive here.
Yes.
So it's not just that I came to this place to start again. I actually had those dreams piled up. Like for instance, Softclue, as we still speak about Softclue. Softclue has been registered as far back as 2018 in Nigeria. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
But it did not thrive. A lot of factors did not let Softclue thrive. That's it. In a situation whereby you have stuff to work on and you spend half of the revenue on buying fuel, how will you even account for your profit? So let's just put that aside when it comes to starting again. It's not that most people that came here did not actually come here to start again. Most of them have those dreams in their hands, but they just needed an enabling environment to hit the ground running. That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you very much. I really like that fact that you mentioned that people have had dreams and they just needed an enabling environment and not necessarily starting again. Do you think one of the things that differentiates people that come here and struggle and people that come here and excel is that particular mindset you just mentioned? Because I think a lot of people are thinking, I've got the experience, I just need an enabling environment to show the world what I'm capable of. While some people are I just want to leave. I just want to just go anything that happens. Do you think that's the kind of thing that differentiates people that come here and excel and people that come here and struggle?
You just raised a very good point. There are two categories of people that migrate, or there are two categories of migrants, just like we are analyzing. There are some category of people who just want to let's just use the word Japa. They Japa. You understand?
Yes.
Just like they escaped. But some people came with blueprints, they had plans. So for those who had plans, those are the categories of people you will see come here, register their company, and find even when they did not come here with capital, just like I mentioned, this is an enabling environment. Since I got to the UK, have applied for grants without knowing anybody and have won the grants without writing any additional letter to anyone. They only need to check your qualifications, check what you have, do you meet the requirements, then they would award it to you. All those stuffs, for you to apply for grants, definitely you had a business plan.
Yes.
This, for instance, okay, let me just give you an example. This specific business plan I've already had since 2019. I submitted it to Tony Enimelu Foundation, TEF. I did not win it. The same business plan was what I submitted in December 2025, and I was given a grant of 22,400 by the UK government.
Oh.
Nothing changed. I only fine-tuned it and ensured that it's suitable for the people in my community in the UK. And that's it. So those testimonies would be good in comparing what we mean by enabling environment and the other. So to those people who you would categorize as those who migrated without a plan, I wouldn't fault them. Some people, to even put plans together in an environment that is not enabling, it's not easy.
Yes.
Yeah, because I would say a few years ago when we were still back home, we would become measure the growth that has happened to our country within then and now. So those who left the country then and those who are living this year, there is still a difference. For instance, in the exchange rate, when I left Nigeria to UK, the exchange rate was 850 naira to £1 compared to now. So a lot of factors would make people fall in either of the categories.
Yes.
And that is why I'm not always quick to blame anyone, because our circumstances are different. Do you have any other question?
That was great. Thank you very, very much. Now let's talk about the other aspect of you. Apart from your career, you've built a business in training, mentoring, and career coaching. And that is what brings us to Softclue. You've mentioned that you have a passion for trying to empower people, and probably that's what made you to try to get the Microsoft Certified Trainer. Beyond just the technical aspect, what does being a trainer mean to you, and why do you enjoy so much?
Well, that's a very deep question and personal to me. Being a trainer, you mentioned that I enjoy it so much. My mom was a teacher of blessed memory. I think because I wouldn't say I built myself up to become a teacher or a trainer. It's just when something is inborn, it will be difficult for you to, you won't be able to explain how you became who you really are.
Yes.
Because it's in the blood. So I just noticed that I love to talk about whatever I know to educate people around me and to make them do better, not with them paying me. Just like you mentioned, the passion for training. In 2023, I woke up one day, myself and my wife were having a discussion about Power BI, and I just thought about it that I can teach people this thing.
Yeah.
And boom, I put it on my WhatsApp status that if you want to learn Power BI, reach out to me. And people started reaching out. In 2023, I held my first class. It was so fantastic that one of those people I trained had to refer a professor to me from the US. The professor, the man is a professor of mathematics. The man said he has been looking for an avenue to learn Power BI, and that his nephew told him that one guy really knows it. That was when I knew what I was into, and that really made me take this matter serious. A professor came on Microsoft Teams and sat down and said I should start teaching him. It was that time I knew that this thing is now beyond passion. I have to be professional. Then I had to draft a curriculum that, okay, let's start from data cleansing, data modeling. Okay, the man sat down and was listening. First, I was thinking that, okay, after my first class, maybe the man will not be able to show up the second day. Maybe if I've taught rubbish, then that might be the end. This man messaged me again that you are fantastic, you are a good teacher. I said, wow, for a professor to say that I'm a good teacher, then I think I have to take this thing seriously. Then he came up. This man finished the whole session with me 5 days, 5 consecutive weeks. He came every weekend, and I taught him until completion. Then even after that, this man went on to write certification in the US based on what I've taught him. Then I took my own matter serious about being a trainer. Then it was at this point that I said, if I'm training people, this is a technical training job. Fine. People come to me based on the fact that I got recommended to them.
Yes.
If people come to you based on recommendation, that doesn't mean that you should not study to prove yourself or to show yourself approved.
Yes.
Then I decided to become a certified trainer. I went through all the processes, registered with an instructional team that would have to train the trainer themselves. So a lot of things they taught me. The name of the team, the company is Fred Excel. They are based in Ghana. I registered with them. I waited and learned everything about technical training. Then I went to do the enrollment with Microsoft themselves, such that I'm approved to be an MCT. And that really gave me peace of mind that I'm qualified to teach these people. Because if I look back, those people I've trained, even when I was not an MCT, they formed a WhatsApp group where I mentor them. Over 97 of them are there right now in the WhatsApp group, listening to my voice, hearing what I have to say. So I should have the evidence that I think not that I'm good enough, but I should be able to prove to them that I'm worthy to be a mentor. So that is why I had to go extra mile to get certified as a trainer.
All right. Thank you very much. I saw recently that you were holding a coaching program. When I looked at the flyer and I saw free, I was shocked. And then I looked at you had kind of a collaboration with the council and things like that. Could you explain that whole thing to us?
Well, just like I said, it's one of those graces of God that I enjoyed since I came to this country. It all started like a movie. After I've been able to train people in those closed WhatsApp group, I just stumbled on an advert one day on TikTok. I'm telling you, someone just mentioned that you can open a CIC in the UK. And I was like, CIC? What is CIC? I chatted the person. The person did not reply me again. No, the person asked me to pay. I said, pay. Okay, no problem. Then I okay, why do I want to pay? Is it that the information is not online, or what exactly do I need to know? I think the Lord has directed me to scroll to that post that talks about CIC. That should be enough for a wise person. I don't have to disturb this man again. Then I went up online. I searched what is CIC. They said community interest company. Then I looked at the eligibility to register one, and I discovered it's not something I can't register as an immigrant. Then I went up to pick up a form with Company House. They asked for every identification necessary. Then I signed up. And boom, they registered my company. And after that, it was like another divine direction. One day I was just browsing the internet and I saw an advert from my local council that eligible CICs that CICs in this community might be eligible for funding if they meet the criteria. I looked at their criteria. I said, they said they need the people that can do community job. I said, this is what I've been doing since 2023. That nobody noticed. Then I should make it formal. I picked up the form. I completed it. They asked, this is my first fund. This is my first fund. I've never applied for any funding before. I was very transparent because I'm always very transparent when it comes to anything official. In fact, generally, I'm very, very transparent when it comes to my career. So I had to put it there. This is my first funding and I need help. So the first help came from Erewash Borough Council. They gave me a fund of £1,500. I wouldn't forget. That was last year. They gave it to me to train people for 8 weeks. I made flyers and I went out there. Personally, I did not employ an additional person or just to make, even though it's a company, I did the job of marketer. I did the job of the trainer. I did the job of everything I'm supposed to do. Or as a company, I did it myself. Went out there, submitted flyers, even went on radio stations, did the announcement, made people understand that this thing is happening. And it was supposed to start in March. It was February this year. I got the grant, I got the funding in December. Then I went online. The coaching, people attended. I was so happy. I had like 30-something people attended the first class, even though there was a slight reduction in the completion rate, because it's a remote thing. So people did not actually converge to meet me. So they came online. I put them through the processes of digital literacy up to Microsoft Excel, up to Power BI, and they felt blessed. They gave good reviews, and the video is all out there in YouTube. And I sent it to the council that I've completed this training after 8 weeks. The council felt like this guy finished what he promised. And even myself, I felt fulfilled. And Shortly after that, they used to say the result of good work is more work.
Yes.
Shortly after that, we got qualified for the EMCCA funding grant. That was actually coming from the mayor, a combination of they call it cut my A. That's a combination of error wash and Derbyshire, and they needed someone to do the same for the community. But this time, not remote, but a physical thing that can be measurable.
Yeah.
And I believe that if I can do it remotely, why can't I do it physically?
Physically,
The
yes.
only difference is like we're not using systems, and I'm going to go out there and teach people what I know and what I love to do. By God's grace, we are in the process. Today is second week. When I mentioned free, it's totally free. Just like I said, everybody that came had computers to work with, we gave them laptops to work with, and it's actually been awesome. I think what I would just say about this whole matter is that I don't need anyone to motivate me. My past keep motivating my present. That is it. And I believe my present should motivate my future.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm just going into the last bit now. We're talking about AI, the future of work. A lot of people are scared. AI will take my job. AI will take my job. What do you have to say about that?
Well, that's actually been the question of this generation. Yeah, people will say we AI replace jobs. But the truth is, I don't think AI will replace people. What I would say is that the people who use AI effectively will replace those who don't.
Yes.
So people who know how to really use AI. AI is not about I use it to change photo to this, to remove background. No. AI is all about engaging AI to be productive. How productive are you when you leverage on AI? And not only that, you need certifications to back it up. And the future actually belongs to those people who combine technology with human skills. The ability to think deeply, critical thinking skills to solve problems, combine it with technology, be productive. Then definitely nothing will take your job. That's just it. Because I'm not here to preach to those people who would say that they have fear of AI replacing them. Those people who have this fear of AI replacing them, definitely they believe they have nothing to offer. If you have something to offer, you won't have the fear of AI replacing you. You only need to upskill yourself to be someone that those companies are willing to hire to replace people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for this great conversation we've had. If there's one thing I've taken away from this, my biggest takeaway would be you have to be self-motivated. If you're waiting for people around you to motivate you or push you, then you're probably not ready. From most of the things you've said, starting from when you were so invested in studying computer science or computer engineering, imagine having to go to one university first, but because you wanted a computer, you had to get on another one. A lot of people had similar stories, but after going to the first one, they're like, no, I can't do this again. I will take whatever has been given to me and just run with it. But you knew what you were after, you were motivated, and you went for it. And I feel like a lot of people need to be more intentional about what they want. People need to make plans. Don't just take whatever is given to you. Don't just take what's available. Have a plan for yourself. Know what you want for yourself. That also brings us to the part of relocation. Before you relocated, you knew what you wanted to do. You had a plan for it, and you've come here. You're not achieving it because the environment is enabling for you to achieve that. So that's what I think should be the biggest takeaway for this episode. People should have plans and be self-motivated. And another thing is the importance of continuous learning. You have to continue learning, stay adaptable, and being willing to also share knowledge, which is what you're doing now. So
my advice to them is if anyone is just starting today, there is always one thing people usually say. They will say they did not tell you how you got there. That people only share testimonies, they will not tell how they got there. Well, it's only left for you to dig deep if you're actually serious about it. So I would say three things. Dream big. You don't need permission from anyone to dream big. Dream big, no matter how big you think you have dreamed. Just hold that dream. Your background does not determine your future. That's another thing. It's not a function of where you come from. Your background should not determine your future. And never stop learning, because continuous learning is a superpower. When you are consistent in the way you learn, it will definitely bring results someday. Success is usually slower than people think, but the consistency eventually pays off. And that's all I have to say about advising anyone who is listening to this podcast.
thank you very much. I really hope that resonates with a lot of people. That's great advice there. And for everyone listening to, if you're interested in picking up digital skills to build your career or trying to start your own journey, it's Softclue. We'll drop the full name on this podcast. You could search it on LinkedIn. You might be very lucky to find one training programs happening in your area and you can jump on it. It would really help you to build your career. This is a training from someone who's had depth of experience. So direct learning will definitely help push your career. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And until then, keep winning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, have a
Thank
great
you
day.
very much.